What's up guys, welcome back to my channel where I talk about men's fashion and vintage fashion. So today we're going to start from zero on how to start creating your vintage wardrobe, because I know it can be a difficult task, it can be daunting, it can be scary to start from zero, but your vintage homie gotcha. And I think I did a video on the past about it already, but that was very rough. If you want to check it out, I will leave it somewhere, but this is the complete guide on how to start wearing vintage 101. So since some of y'all asked me to do this topic, I'm here to make it come true. And today we're going to explore my, let's say, I think it was like 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
5 minutes later.
There were like 12 steps on how to start wearing vintage by me himself. So firstly, and I will repeat, firstly, we have to be open to change on when we want to start wearing vintage, because most of us care a lot about the judgment of other people and other people's perspective on how we dress. And basically in the vintage space, there is this problem that people feel that we dress too costumey or cosplayish. So that's the thing that affected me too at the start, because people were like, from one day I was wearing like modern clothes and trendy clothes to wearing like vintage clothes, and people were a little bit shocked about it. But honestly, your confidence has to grow and you shouldn't care about those people's judgment, because you should dress how you like. And honestly you live even only once. Like, you should dress how you like and what makes you feel more comfortable and more personally connected to your personality. And like, dressing is expressing yourself. So if you like wearing vintage clothes, do it, because honestly you have to feel happy about what you're wearing. And if people don't like it, it's their cup of tea, honestly, because you come first, as I always say, and your style is yours. So make it as extravagant as you like and wear what you really like. So that's my first tip. So the next thing that you need on how to start wearing vintage is inspiration, because you need your references to guide through your style. And you can get inspired from different sources, like for example, movies, TV series, art, animation, old family photos, ads, magazines, sartorial illustrations, animation. Did I say animation already? I think so. I don't know. There is real life, social media, Pinterest. You can stay here all night until 4 AM, but I don't want to. So you can get inspiration from pretty much everywhere. And some examples, for example, TV series that I get inspired from. Which two I get inspired from are The Fresh Prince. The Fresh Prince, because Will Smith is the GOAT in that series, is the fashion icon, is the fashion star of that series, guys. And with his hip-hop New Jack Swing vibes, he kills it all the damn time. In each episode, you will find a late outfit from this star, honestly. And then there is Friends. I especially resonate with Chandler's style with his vest and cardigan and blazers and colorful ties. But also Joey's style is pretty much underrated, because I really like even his style. Maybe the one that I care less is Ross, I think, but that's a discussion for another day, honestly. And then there's anime, for example. Like, I take inspiration from Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter, Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon, and many other animes. I already did videos on anime inspired outfits. If you're interested to, I will leave them somewhere. And sartorial illustrations also are really important, guys, because if you want to search for a specific decade or a specific style, sartorial illustrations are the best to show you on what they were wearing at that time or at that decade, and you can find them on Pinterest or Google. Just search for sartorial illustration, type the year that you want to see, like for example 1950s or 1980s, and you will get a lot of sartorial illustrations with a lot of different outfits that you can get inspired from. I say it correctly. Music, yes, I get inspired from my favorite artists and groups. For example, I get inspired from Green Day, Blink-182, Bruno Mars, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Sex Pistols, The Clash. I can't do all the lists. Even I have a lot. Like my list is too big to name them all. Pinterest guys, Pinterest is really important. Pinterest will save you a lot of time, and Pinterest is really useful because you can search for a reference, and then from that reference you can see all the other references that are suggested, and usually like 99% of the time you will get it correct. Like the other reference are suggested are the things you are searching for. So Pinterest is highly recommended. So start little by little, from working with the clothes that you already have in your wardrobe to create vintage inspired outfits. You don't need to buy a new wardrobe to create your vintage outfits, and you can just work with what you already have in your wardrobe and make outfits that are vintage inspired. So just check the pictures that you took as your references and then try to recreate that outfit. This is what I did myself too at the start to get inspired, and also because I didn't have a lot of vintage clothing, so I was using what I had in my wardrobe, and this can be a good start because the vintage wardrobe will come with time, guys. Like it will come with time, with the more times you go to the thrift, the flower market, and it can be even like years and years of research. So guys, just take it very chill and work with what you already have. The cheapest way to start, I mean it, the cheapest way to start is using the clothes from your grandparents, from your grandma or grandpa, from your friends, from who you know in the neighborhood. And honestly, this is the cheapest way to start because you never know, guys. You will never know if your father or mother or grandpa or grandma has that vintage gem that you really like and you want to style. Maybe, wait, it's highly probable that they have some clothes that they don't use anymore that they can give you. And this is a good start to start wearing vintage and also appreciate what your parents or grandparents they used to wear. And also, if you ask them about the history maybe of the clothing, that could be even a great plus. And please ask them, okay? Like, we don't steal here. Like, yeah, I saw some things from my father, I must be honest, but I would encourage you to just ask and tell them if you can borrow their clothes or just give you the clothes that they don't use anymore so that you can start your vintage journey. So the next step is decluttering your wardrobe. And basically, if you have some pieces that you feel that you will not wear anymore, that you don't like anymore, that you think they will not suit your new style, then just declutter your wardrobe and donate these clothes to a local charity or to your local thrift store, or give it to your friend that maybe wants it, and start doing this process so that you will have a clear wardrobe and a clear mind so that you can start your vintage style journey as best as you can. Then the next step is a step that I think is really important in my opinion, just because I like to know where my clothes come from and how they used to wear this type of clothing. So I think you should have like a basic info of history of fashion, in my opinion, just because you can appreciate even more the clothing that was like from the past and that was used from other people. And also because it's interesting to know how they used to wear them, in which occasion, and also about the culture and the phenomena that was going on in each different decade. And if you want to focus in a certain decade, you can get the info on that specific decade. You can get info from all different decades that you're interested to, and just like Google, watch some YouTube videos, go on different sites, and like even books of history of fashion, and get like a basic start on that, because I think that's really important. Also, when you go to the thrift, you already know which kind of pieces go well together and which kind of style you are aiming to. So for this part of the video, I think you need like a paper and a pen, because I'm going to tell you my staples, my staples that for me are important if you want to start your vintage style journey. And especially since we're talking about men's fashion, this is what I think you should have in your wardrobe if you want to start your vintage. And those staples are a suit or a blazer, because the suit and the blazer were the main key pieces that remained throughout the decades, and at this change throughout every decade was styled in a different way, and also the proportion, the silhouette, and the colors that were trendy changed in every different decade. So I think a suit should be in your wardrobe if you want to start your vintage style journey, and so that you can also experiment with more outfits in like different occasions. And another staple that you should get is, if you don't have them already in your wardrobe, a pair of dress shoes or leather shoes, depending on the style that you're aiming to and on the decade you are aiming to, because with that you can also create more outfits that are more accurate to what they were wearing at the time. And also because you can't wear sneakers all the damn time. Like, yes, I love my sneakers to death, but you can't wear sneakers all the damn time. Just take a shoe that a vintage shoe that you really like. But yeah, I think you should like include at least one pair of dress shoes or leather shoes, so that you can create more diverse outfits that are vintage inspired, in my opinion, of course. Good white dress shirt, because from a white dress shirt you can explore almost everything. Like from a white dress shirt you can layer very easily and create vintage inspired outfit, even just with the white dress shirt. Honestly guys, just check your references, and the white dress shirt is the basic that you must have in your wardrobe. And that's a thing that I was liking to at the start, because I never wore like a white dress shirt, but right now, yes, it's very important. Like, I think you should even have like multiple white dress shirts in case the ones that you already use are stained, because yeah, those are a staple. Then a pair of dress pants, because in case you have a blazer, you can pair it with the blazer. And those dress pants, yes, usually like natural colors, so black, navy, brown, in that range. So you can pair it with your blazer, or you can pair it with your more dressy outfits. And this always depends on which decade or style you're aiming to. But I think also the dress pants are a core staple that you need in your wardrobe. A good jacket, a good vintage jacket, just choose the style that you like and pair it with your vintage outfits. A good vintage jacket will last you for years and years to come, and it will be a staple that it will be useful. And this is another one that I would recommend. So another staple that you should get are accessories, because even if you have like less vintage clothing or you have more of modern clothing, with the accessories you can transform that outfit in a vintage one like this. And honestly, yeah, like you need, like for example, a pair of vintage sunnies, or some ties, or glasses guys. I have prescription glasses, but if you have prescription glasses especially, get a pair of vintage ones, because they will change how people will look at you, and also like the overall feel of your outfit, it will go very well. So like, just check your cool vintage pair of glasses at the flea market, at the thrift store, or online, and wear them, because already the glasses make a lot of difference, guys. Like, believe me, they make a lot of difference. Like before I was wearing like a pair of glasses that I hated to death, and also I didn't feel even comfortable wearing them. But those glasses, I love them a lot. Like those 80s glasses, I think they really suit me a lot, and they overall change all my outfits. So a pair of glasses is really important. Like, don't miss that. So the next tip that I would give you is that if you have already a decade in your mind that you're aiming to, then just try it. But if you don't have a specific decade you're aiming to, just experiment, guys. Experiment, and experiment. That is what I was doing at the start in 2000 and 2017. That was a long time ago. Damn. And yes, I was experimenting with different styles. Like I think I tried every style for a style for each decade, and then naturally I gravitated towards like 3 or 4 decades that I really love. But I always like to experiment with different styles usually, so I really love that. So don't get boxed into one decade specifically if your mind is not totally into it. Like you can experiment with different decades. You can get inspiration from 2, 3, 4 decades, but even all decades, guys. You can a day wear something and the next day wear something else. Like just wear what you feel gravitates towards, what you really like and your personality and what you get inspired from. And you can mix also between, like there's not a defined rule on how to wear vintage. And honestly, if you are not boxed into a specific decade, just have fun and experiment. That's what I would like to say to everyone. And also, who said that you cannot mix your vintage clothing with more modern clothing? Like, depending on your taste, of course, you can mix your vintage clothing with some more modern clothing. And as I said before, and I will say it again, just wear what you like. Yes, also this next tip, you should write it down somewhere or note it down, because this also is really, really important. And this is something that we don't usually do, and I didn't do it too at first, but it's very, very important if you want to start this vintage style adventure. And is know your damn measurements, guys. Know your measurements and get help from someone and do your measurements of for your pants, for your blazers, for your desk shirts. Just measure your body so that you know your proportions and what it can fit you, what it cannot fit you. Because for example, at the thrift store or flea market, clothes can come from different decades and different brands, and the measurements were always changing. So that's why it's very important to know your measurements, so that when you get at the thrift store or flea market or vintage store, you already know what it can fit you without even trying out maybe, and what it cannot fit you, and it will save a lot of your time. So get a sartorial meter and just do your measurements. I hope it's called like that. I don't know, let me know in the comments. Oh my goodness. Next point is go to flea markets, thrift stores, vintage stores, charity shops, second-hand shops, second-hand stores. Do I have something else? Borrow from your friends, from your grandparents, from your parents, from people you know. And if you don't have local thrift stores in your area, local flea markets in your area, and if you want to shop more comfortably, then go online. We have a lot of sites, like for example Depop, Vinted, Etsy, eBay, and more. And what else can I add here? Maybe there are also vintage events in your area. You never know. Just check on the internet. And the flea market usually, like for example in my town, is every Friday. So just check out on the internet which day the market is usually done, and go to the flea market around you in your area. The last point that I want to touch on is just follow some vintage groups, vintage pages, and vintage content creators like moi. now, like for real, you can follow some awesome vintage content creators. I will give a list down below and show them some while I'm talking. And yes, I even follow some vintage pages. There are also pages that like publish like vintage movies, stills, and pictures from old Hollywood stars, musicians, red carpets. There's a lot of stuff on social media and on the internet that you can follow. And honestly, I think this is what I'm thinking about for this guide. I don't have like any stamina anymore in my brain. You cannot think about other stuff. But if you have any other ideas, any other tips on how to start the vintage adventure style, the vintage style adventure, sorry, just tell me below. Yes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you will know when I put my next video, guys. And what else? What else to say? Oh well, I did my first talk, my first live talk in a vintage shop near my town. I was very nervous, guys, because I never did it in like almost 7 years of doing YouTube. I never talked in front of a public, so I was a bit nervous, but it went really well. I have the video like somewhere. I'll link it of this, and I will do more talks in the future starting this year. And I'm already contacting another shop, for example, and we'll see how this goes. My Vinted also is going well. It's open again. If you want to check it out, I will leave it somewhere. And also, I think I've told you already, I'm doing a course for sales assistants, and also that is going pretty good. I'm almost ending like the lesson period. Like my lessons are almost over, I think in 2 weeks time. And then I will start my work simulation that will last for 1 month and a half. So I will end it up like at the start of the summer. Then I will have a final exam, and then I will know if I have like a job or not. Yay! And yes, because I need a part-time job, like I need it. And yes, but apart from that, I have other plans. Oh yes, next weekend it will be a fun one, because I'm going to a vintage shop that is not like, it's like 1 hour away from where I live. Then on Friday, next Friday, then on Saturday I will go to Rome, because I want to visit a big vintage market that they're doing there. And also then on Sunday I will go to Bologna, because I have a friend from IG that is doing his vintage flea market there. And so it will be fun. I will vlog about it and do a video about it, so stay tuned. Yes, that's all. I will see y'all on the next video. It can be scary to start from fresh. Wait. Vintage, comment below, and so comment below, and so yeah. You don't you see, così che non va bene. Va bene. Full ties, but also joy is joy, Joey.